And hello everybody, welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to be ranking every single coal set that I own. Now this isn't every coal set that I've ever owned, this is just every coal set that I still have together. And now what these sets do in the show will not affect this list is just purely based off of how good the set is. And price is a factor to where I put these sets. But with that, let's just get right into it. Oh, and also, this is just my opinion. And first up at number 6, we have Cole's Tread Assault. And just because this is at the bottom of the list and is the oldest set on this list, doesn't mean it's bad. Is it good? Okay, yes, it is good. Is it great? No. It has some flaws, like the cockpit being very gappy. There being a lot of just exposed studs, which typically I'm fine with. Like it's Lego, like this is the whole point of Lego, that they're not just. The whole point of Lego is that they're not flat; they have studs. So typically I'm okay with it, but here I just think it's too flat, too studdy, and just some of that, and just maybe just especially this back part here being built up a little more would have really helped this set, I think. As well as these Technic beams here don't look very good. I do quite like the set, and it is still my favorite out of all the original Golden Weapon vehicles. And it's a real shame that this didn't get a Legacy version. I love the shape. I love how armored it looks. It has all these spikes that keep popping off on it. I guess I can excuse these pieces always falling off since the set is 12 years old. And now the play features in theory are really cool, and one of them at least may have looked better in the past when the set was newer, but I'm like, it still looks fine now, but heck, not as good as the designers were intending it to be. You push back on this exhaust piece here, you push forward, not back on that, and boom, these blades pop up. I'm not really sure what the point of this is. It's not like they come out to the side so they can hit so they can hit enemies while he's driving by. So I don't really get what the point of this is. I think these here are also supposed to come out one as well, but they don't. Again, probably just a product of the set being older. And then because of this play feature, this engine piece is separate from the rest of the build here, from the rest of the body here, so that doesn't look very good. There's also this big gun here at the front that you can fire. And then the second play feature, and the one that's not very good and kind of terrible actually, is you can flip it over and it becomes a snake vehicle. So he can disguise this vehicle as a serpentine vehicle. Which, it's not the best. I'm you have the green there, but it's just not the best. And you can hear that these pieces here are dragging against the ground. And again, I think this is just because the set's a bit older, but this piece doesn't want to flip. See, I turn it, and it doesn't come up all the way. It stops halfway, and I kind of have to help it the rest of the rotation. See, it just doesn't want to flip all the way. So yeah, well, I still think this is a good set. It's just not nearly as good as it could have been, and it could have really, really used a Legacy remake. Now in the fifth spot is the set that actually took the place of the Legacy Tread Assault, and that is the Legacy Earth Driller. Now this here is the set on this list that I've had the longest. I've had this for like almost 5 years at this point. And I still think it's great. This is a huge improvement over the original. It keeps the main play feature of the original, where you can, where when you roll it on the ground, this blade up here turns. See that? It turns. It spins. But then also, this set added, you can turn it manually. You can turn this back, this knob at the back, and the drill spins. Just, I don't know what happened, but mine just doesn't work. I turn it and, nope, I can like push and it kind of works if I like push on it, but I don't know. I don't know what I did to it over the years, but this just doesn't work anymore, but the wheel thing still does. I'm pretty sure this is one of the first, if not the first, coal vehicle to use sand green, which I think looks fairly nice. I don't know, I don't love sand green on coal. I'm just not a huge fan of that color. But I think it works fine here in just small amounts, like these vents here. And then probably one of, if not the best part about the set is this top windshield piece here. This is a really, really cool printed piece, and it is very accurate to the show, which I like. And speaking of inside, this, you can fit 2 figures in here, which is really, really nice. Except this lime green piece here doesn't look the best, but it's never really bothered me too much. Yeah, you can fit 2 figures in here, which is really nice. It uses these rock pieces here on the sides, which I think look great. Yeah, I think it's a really, really great set. I really like it. And at the 4th and a half spot, I have Cole's Legacy Thunderator Mech, the micro build. This is a micro build of Cole's of the Legacy version of Cole's Mech from season 3. And I think they did an okay job of representing the mech here. It's not amazing, but I think in such a small scale they did a good job, and in such a small scale it's still being able to attach to the back of the Jay's Thunderator. I think they did a pretty great job. For the articulation, you can move the arms up and down. Not really a full 360 because the legs get in the way, but that's fine. And then you can just move the legs back and forth, which is enough. Like you don't really need to get much out of this guy. And if you want to, you could like move the shoulders up like this to get somewhat more dynamic poses, I guess. But yeah, they did an alright job with like the swords on the hands, or with the swords instead of the hands. But I think the swords are a bit too long here. For the main body, it's just a flat tile, or like a half tile, whatever. I don't know why this bar is here at the top. I don't know what that's for. But yeah, this is a fine micro build. They did a decent enough job. They did a decent enough job downsizing the mech, and I can still tell what it's meant to be. So they did a decent job. And if you're curious, here are what the two look like combined. You know, I think Jay's part of the build here is definitely the better of the two. You just fold it up like the actual set. You got this little bar here, this little technical here. It just slides on like that. Flip the swords around like that. And boom, you got Jay's Micro Legacy Thunderator. Cole's mech here on the back is pretty loose, so you can just fall off since it's just a normal bar going into a technical, so it's not really connected with any tight connections, but it's good. it's enough. As long as you don't flip it over, you'll be fine. Yeah, I think this is really cute. I really like this micro build. And at the number 4 spot, I have Cole's Legacy Season 3 Mech. I don't know what this thing is called or if it even has a name, but I quite like it. It's definitely a more unique mech, I'll say. Instead of hands, it has these swords. And then, unlike the original, where the original had like blasters here, this one has drills as well on the hands. He has some spring-loaded shooters here, which work just like spring-loaded shooters do. This mech has knees and elbows, unlike some mechs. This mech also uses this design for the arms, which I know a couple other mechs used this design, and I also know that a lot of people don't like this design, but personally, I don't mind it. I think it's fine. And he also has these stickers on his shoulder pads and feet, which I'm not sure. What does NS stand for? What does the number 5 have to do with anything? And then on the back it has these pins to connect to the Thunderator. And I guess since I showed you what the micro version looked to put together, here's what the Thunderator looks together. There you go. There's what it looks like. It's kind of tricky to get the arms in a place that looks good. I have been able to do it, but wasn't able to here. And yeah, this definitely looks better. I think they definitely look better combined than separate. And this right here is one of my favorite sets that I own. At number 3, I have Cole's Elemental Mech. And yes, technically, I don't have this set still together. I have reviewed it on the channel. And I am planning on getting a second copy of this set to keep together at some point, or that way I can have all of the elemental mechs. So I thought I would just include it on this list, just to be nice and just to give Cole an extra set, since if I didn't, then he would only have 5 sets. Like all the other elemental mechs, this one's articulation is pretty limited, since it doesn't have elbows, knees, or wrists. But I think this one's is the most limited because it has these really big, bulky shoulder pads that just kind of get in the way of the arm movement. And if for some reason, it just has one big finger instead of like 2 or 3 smaller normal figures like the rest of the mechs, if they wanted to give it this type of hands, then they should have at least given it a thumb as well. I think that would have made it better. The waist articulation is nice. That is nice, and is something we don't see in a whole lot of mechs. The back doesn't look very nice, but it's a $20 set, and this is already like really good for $20, so I can excuse it. I do quite like the hammer build, and I do still have that together. This is the only part of the set that I still have together. So yeah, while this might be my least favorite out of all the elemental mechs, I don't know if I'd say like it. I also wouldn't say I regret taking it apart. It exists. And at number 2, I have Cole's Golden Dragon Cruiser, or whatever it's called. I really like this set. This is really good. I love this set. I think it is great. I love the design of it. I love, just like Cole's Treadasol, I love the armored look of it. I really like the shaping. I think the shaping is fantastic. And I can see why some people don't like the set. Like they say that the back part is way too messy and that it just kind of falls apart here and just doesn't look good. And well, yeah, it doesn't look the best, but it doesn't look bad either, in my opinion. And it doesn't really take away from the rest of the build. And because the back looks like this, we get this really cool play feature where you can move these blades forward and have like this even more armored look with these blades coming out the front. I think this looks amazing. As well as that, as well as these blades coming forward, these C-bound blades here also like pop up, and then these stud shooters also move up as you move it back. Here, let me get. See that? It's just so intricate, and I love how many moving parts there are with this. And it's so satisfying. It is so satisfying. I really like this set. This set is so good. Look at that. I can't stop doing that. These blades are also really cool. They're dual molded in gold and trans orange, and I wish LEGO used this blade more. Like, come on, LEGO. Why don't you use this blade? They introduced this blade piece in 2022. Seem to have replaced this blade piece here with this piece that was introduced in 2023. And while this blade is fine, I don't think it looks nearly as good as this. The set uses these like golden rim pieces that were introduced in the Season 11 wave in 2019. I think whenever LEGO uses these rim pieces on wheels, they just make whatever set they are on look so much cooler. And then also you can flip up the hood of the vehicle and store little things in there. And store whatever you want, like this gray hot dog or this blade here, which is really nice. But probably my favorite part of the set is that you can fit 2 minifigures side by side. 2 minifigures side by side. This uses the Speed Champions like car piece. And I love whenever LEGO uses this piece, because that allows them to fit 2 figures side by side. Yes. Like, come on. You cannot tell me that does not look cool. That is, yes. I love it when LEGO uses this cockpit piece. Now, my favorite core set that I own is the Legacy Boulder Blaster. This right here is the closest thing that LEGO will ever make to a gun. This is basically a LEGO gun right here. It has this piece here that acts as a stand for when you set it down. But it also doubles as a handle so you can grip it. And then you turn this knob right here, and it fires off all 8 of these spring-loaded shooters. And it is so satisfying. I can't not do it. Like, okay, I got the set out. So I cannot get the set out and not fire it off. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. It's just so satisfying. It is so satisfying. It's such a great play feature. It's so great, actually. This play feature is done here in this set the exact same way it was done in the original version of this set that came out 6 years before this one did. That's just how perfect this this function is. This set is so good. This also uses sand green, which I think the sand green combined with the orange looks really good. There's also some piping here on the side that looks like a smiley face. In the original set, this was just one flat plate with like a single tile on here. But here, this is, look how detailed that is. That looks so good. This just looks so good. This is just so good. And then I remember at one point in time I tried to customize this to so you could have that. There was one point in time where I tried to customize this to be able to fit 2 minifigures here, like it did in the show. You know, I do not think that there is a single bad thing about this set. This set is really good. But yeah, with that, if you enjoyed, I'd really appreciate it if you took 2 seconds to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.